Yep, it's official. We're live. Oh my god. We're doing a Ted Lasso tier list. We're talking about like it's a talk Ted. Get it? A talk Ted.
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
For roping. I like that. You're a jabroni. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday night. It's What the Show. We're doing a Talk Ted, a Ted Lasso tier list. And my name is AJ Lancaster. I'm one of your co-hosts.
And we are, first of all, Jeff is a wanker. Second of all, we are the Deacons. We are two of your other co-hosts. And our third co-host is an empty chair right now. But I promise he is a real boy. And he'll be back real soon.
We've debated that before, though.
Which is true, we have.
I just like the chair.
You perfectly entered. That was good. Wait, was my own?
Good timing.
Oh, we were just about to talk about the chair. And now you show up, Juice.
We're live.
Yep. Surprise.
Surprise, baby. I'll be doing that probably a lot tonight. I apologize in advance, except I do. I guess we should probably mention our esteemed guests. We couldn't talk Ted Lasso without these two lovely people that have graciously given us their time to come debate how awesome these characters are. We have the one and only PG. She's a legend. Our dear friend Peggy with a special guest.
So Peggy has a real important designation for us this season. She is the reason we found out that episode 1 dropped when it did.
Yeah. She's how we knew how to watch the show on Tuesday nights.
We were like, oh shit, it's on already? Thank you, Peggy.
So we really appreciate that.
You are welcome. Yeah, I lost my shit as well, which is why I put out the Twitter blasts. That helped. But yeah, happy to be here, and Roy's happy to be here too.
Yeah.
What?
And our homie,
Is he there?
Been hanging out with him a lot lately. Dan, what's up?
Roy from Fire Emblem?
Rory.
Oh, Rory. Okay, Rory. Okay.
We can't talk the Lawrence television without having Dan on. So of course he's here.
Hi. It's been so long since I've been here. And sneak peek, it's going to be even longer still this Friday when Mike appears on my podcast.
We've been very much cohesive with Dan and all things with Montyverse and with Fantastic Four podcast. We've been just a big family lately, so it's been lovely. So always welcome. You're always welcome here, Dan. Great to have you.
Thank you.
There's no way we could do anything Bill Lawrence without you as well.
Yes, naturally. I'm glad to be here. Love Ted Lasso, and I'm ready for this Talk Ted.
Talk Ted.
Talk Ted 2023.
Before we dive in, we have a couple of things to go over. One, of course, I'm going to pitch to AJ in just a second to go over the charity of the month, which you can see at the bottom of our screen. We'll go over that in more detail. But blanket warning, we will be, since the show has now all 3 seasons have officially aired, we've given you 2 whole weeks to catch up.
Full spoilers.
Full spoilers. We're going to be breaking down full character arcs, every character, that we feel is worthy of discussion of the past 3 seasons. So full spoilers. So if you are not up to date on your Ted Lasso, come join us for this Talk Ted another time. Okay.
Still can't believe Coach Beard kissed Sam like that.
But it was a great moment. I stood up and applauded. AJ, could you please tell us about the lovely charity that we are supporting here in the month of June?
So yeah, our cause for the month for June is somebody who's close to our community, close to our heart. Robert from Late to the Party has had some health issues, completely unexpected, and he has a GoFundMe set up for his health expenses. If you guys don't know Robert from Schmodown or Late to the Party, first of all, check out Late to the Party's content. They're amazing. Beautiful human being. He and Vanessa are just wonderful. By the way, we also do shout out during our stream anybody who just chooses to support them directly. That GoFundMe link will be scrolling across the bottom of the screen for all of our streams for the rest of the month. But yeah, support some awesome people and let's have some fun. Let's talk some Ted Lasso and
yeah, let's do it. I prepare everyone. You could play a drinking game at home, which is called watching all of us squint when a character is introduced. And we're like, who is that? If you've never watched any of our other tier shows before on this channel, be prepared. There's a lot of that goes on when we do this. Also, if you haven't watched any of our other tiers, go back and watch. We ranked Mighty Ducks characters. We ranked Stranger Things characters. We love ranking children. We're not ranking a lot of children.
We did Cobra Kai.
We did Cobra Kai, more children that we ranked. This might be the
and we yelled at
episode
a child.
where we ranked the least amount of children.
We yelled at a child a lot during the Cobra Kai.
We yelled at 2 children a lot, and their last names may have been LaRusso. Just throwing that out there.
And we had multiple children on our villains list during our last get together, which was just over a year ago.
That is true.
So next month we'll be supporting Make-A-Wish.
We are. That is true.
That is actually
true. Bruce, as the MVP of the Cutthroat Movie Trivia Rumble, got to pick next month's charity, and he chose Make-A-Wish.
We want to make it clear we actually love children, even if we rank them a lot.
And if not, we're atoning for our sins.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right, Juice, are we ready with our?
I think we're ready. I don't know character names of Ted Lasso nearly as well as I have in past iterations of our tier list, so I will. But I did just recently watch the entire series, so we always begin.
The one character that you just choose to like mess around with, Juice, because that's all.
I have a hunch. I think I know who it's going to be.
Oh, okay, I'm excited.
I will see. As always, we give clever names to our tier lists as we go on. But until then,
Can F just be fuck?
B should be the biscuit.
So true.
Like that. Like that.
Biscuits.
Yeah, biscuits with the boss tier.
Can the C tier be the C tier? C word.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Hey, well,
I'm sure we can think of something.
choreographed dance.
There you
figure it
go.
out.
Can we see you next Tuesday? Can we see you next Tuesday?
All right, Juice.
All
Hit us
right.
with our first little picture that we all just
Our
squint.
first team captain himself.
Captain Isaac McAdoo.
Good one to start with.
What a great character, truly. Oh man. All right, I got some thoughts and feelings, but let's go ahead, y'all. Who wants to jump in first for Isaac?
I kind of like him right there, honestly. Knowing who we have, I feel like C for cat. Hey, you hit the nail on the head. I think he's had some good arcs in here. He's had a lot of growth, but I still think some of his anger comes out in maybe not the most well-written way. He did go in the stand and attack a fan, probably a deserving fan that deserved to get punched in the face.
Yes.
But I feel like all in all, he was a very kind of one-note character. It was like gruff and angry or very cool guy. Like there wasn't a lot of dynamic character to him compared to some of the other side like players that weren't in the spotlight.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Dan. I had him like kind of in my head as being at the bottom of B or the top of C. So I'm right on board with you because he's like, he's definitely, not at the bottom of the list. But there are, with us trying to keep it at 5 or 6 characters per tier, I think that's probably right about where he likely will wind up.
Yeah, like I think if we go further, if he moves up, he's like most great queer allies. He's got room to grow.
It could be a
Good
B.
intentions. Good intentions.
Yeah, I like where he's at too because, he's the one who got them all to go to Rebecca's father's funeral, made sure that they all didn't wear trainers, even though Danny Rojas was miserable. Plays Santa, loves Rolos. I think, see, for now, I think this is a perfect place for him. And I agree, Mike. It's like top C, low B in my head right now would be a perfect place for him.
True. That's fair. Yeah, I put him about B or C tier. I think C for captain. He's a great, he dresses great as a judge. He makes a great Santa. He
Terrible penalty shot.
does a very terrible.
Cuts hair very well. Gives everyone on the team a free haircut.
Penalty shot.
Amazing.
B. He goes through the net. He
does destroy the net. It's true.
But he also spills hot tea on Higgins, so you gotta take the good with the bad.
Do we want to give him benefit of the doubt? Go B for Barber.
Yeah, I'm okay. He's going to be right there.
Yeah. I would put him in B.
If we have to move him down,
He'd be A+ in any other show. This show was amazing.
Yeah.
Should there be a season 4? I hope we get to dive deeper into Isaac's story and learn a little bit more about his background.
I'd like to learn about him too. Yeah.
Squint.
All right.
Alrighty. Well, we just mentioned him. Higgins.
Higgins. Oh, Higgins is a legend. An absolute legend. Terrible
jazz legend.
But an absolute jazz. I think he's high A for me. Just because we are limiting S tier. I'd put him S, but I'm going to say he might be high A for me because
I'm trying to think of where
there's
he
a
goes.
lot of S tier characters.
Where he goes in my exact rankings, I think he's going to be the top of B for me, but I understand the A. Like, there's a possibility. I just think that there's too many characters going above him.
Higgins,
he's A/B cuss for me. Yeah.
Higgins has like my favorite line in all of Ted Lasso, which is really saying something in a show that I love, like pretty much every line of dialogue. But I love Higgins' whole, she's a rainbow speech about he's the most hopeless romantic. It's really great advice. He gave really great advice to Keely when she was nervous about going off and starting her own PR firm. I love that he welcomes in the team every year for the holidays, which is where my favorite line comes. The whole the family are born with the family make along the way, and of course Richmond. He's amazing, and I love him, and I think he definitely deserves high A. I think personally, he's like the most level-headed advisor. I feel like.
I agree. Go ahead.
I agree with you completely because he would be S tier for me if it weren't for at the very beginning of the show, you realize that he knew about Rupert's affair and never told Rebecca. So that's the only reason he's dinged for me from the S to A. I mean, he obviously has an arc, and he's so much he would never do that. When you get to season 2, 3, whatever. But yeah, so A for me. I think he's perfectly placed right now. We'll see if he moves.
Let's go for it.
He's certainly deserving of S tier in some capacity, but I'm going to talk about him being an A tier, like the good thing he done to get to A tier, you talked about a few of them. He's also a great stand-up bass player. Whenever the Diamond Dogs come around, he's typally the one that says kind of the thing that gets them like, oh yeah, that's a good point, Higgins. There was something else.
Always have to run in for it.
At the moment that I think solidifies at least being an A tier is when he told Beard about how him and Jane's relationship didn't seem healthy for Beard. Like he was being a stand-up guy, looking out for Beard there as well. So I think A is certainly deserving.
No, I agree.
Love it. Yeah, love his advice. Loves when when the Diamond Dogs are called and he's like way in his office and he has to run in.
in every time. So good.
Okay. Well, I think this player was also mentioned recently.
Danny Rojas.
Danny Rojas.
He's on his life. Him see a whole tulip field, it would be too overwhelming. Bless him.
Where am I going to put him overall?
I'm going to throw out that he should be in. Oh God, it's so hard. High A or low A, high B would be around where I would put him. You can't. It's so hard to say a bad word about Danny because he's just so full of joy.
He has that one weird.
I would say something. I will say something bad about Danny Rojas.
God, that he killed the dog.
No, in season 3 when they do the international scrimmages, his whole demeanor towards Zoro seems so out of character.
Very weird.
Forgot about that.
I mean, it was funny in and of itself, but it just felt so out of character too.
And the poor flight attendant who had to clean up the fucking Doritos on the ground.
I know.
That was
they never really explained because like they did a great job with John, the Nigerian. John?
Shit,
What's
Sam.
his name?
Sam. Oh,
Wow.
Sam.
Great.
Obasanya.
This is why I didn't want to mention anyone's names. They said it's such great with Sam with like bringing up his Nigerian past, but they didn't do the same with Danny, and then he just goes back and it just turns into an animal. So it was like if they'd set that up a little bit more, I think it would have been more.
Now, in fairness,
effective.
as someone who worked a lot of Mexican World Cup games, they did just straight up break plates. So I could kind of see someone just dumping Doritos on an airplane and being like, screw it, if someone has to clean up. So maybe that is in character.
Well,
that's just how Mexicans enjoy soccer. No, I'm just kidding. That was stereotypical.
I'm
But
friends
they
with a
really
lot of
did break
scumbags. I'm friends with a lot of scumbags. People who are delightful and childlike when you know them, but you see how they interact with other people and they're kind of fucking scumbags. I love that that's a piece of his character. So I love him at A, maybe drop to B. That's
I had him in my top 10.
A, but like behind.
I guess behind Higgins.
Like, we know a little bit more
behind-
about him.
Behind Higgins, yeah.
Behind
Phillips,
Higgins, behind Higgins, yeah.
I think they're gonna
Yeah.
chase. I think they're gonna be right next to each other a lot. But yeah, Danny Rojas, scumbag, love him.
Love him.
All right. Now we have a more fun, more of a recurring character than a lead.
I love her.
May Green, as we now know her last name. S tier. S tier all the way. I'll fight for it. I know she's not a main character.
I'm going A. I love May. May is one of my favorite characters. I am actually saying A.
I'm gonna say B just because there's so many characters that we see a little bit more of that I think that belong in A and S above her a little bit. I hope you all caught the nod in the finale to Cheers, her touching the adjusting
Yes.
the okay, making sure.
Yes.
I mean, she's fantastic. It's just there's so many we still gotta get through, you know.
Put her at the bottom of A for now, and then if we need to move her to B,
Yeah.
She deserves so much. She deserves
the
everything.
S tier is so difficult because there's
I
May,
think that's better.
May is the character I want. May is the character I want to have a spin-off the most.
Yes.
amazing.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Cheers-esque Ted Lasso spinoff would be great.
Would be so
Yes.
good. I want to hang out around that pub all the time. Like all
I mean,
the time.
she outside of Beard, she is probably the most consistent kind of level point for Ted. Like she's always there to kind of encourage him, keep him, keep him going. So I think around there is a good spot.
And she
for now.
puts people in their place. That's
Yeah.
what I always liked about that.
She takes no prisoners. She gives great advice. She'll pour you a great pint. She'll cut you off when she needs to. 10
Or
out
if
of
you've
10.
been to a West Ham game.
Yeah.
Exactly. She will not stand for anyone who isn't a Richmond fan in her pub. We love it. We stand. Thank you, May. You're an absolute legend.
She's on Cameo.
For a very reasonable price.
Is she?
Yes.
We just learned
She's
that.
she's the one that needs to call
Secure the bag,
Jeff a
babe.
wanker.
Do it.
That might happen.
Yeah, plan to.
That might be happening.
Our next character, if I believe, is one that is not affiliated with Richmond. He's not affiliated with West Ham. He is affiliated with Man City.
Boo. He's an F tier if I've ever
That's
seen
F
one.
tier.
I will say,
But
he seemed to be turning his life around, but at least in the context of everything we got in the show, does not deserve to be above F.
Yes. I agree.
now, do we want to do a PLD tier?
Oh, jeez.
Got to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And because usually we like to have PLD one above F. So
PLD is a great father. He's not in PLD tier.
Yeah.
No,
He's
I know,
not
I know.
PLD
I'm just
tier.
kidding.
He's F.
PLD
Well-
tier is like you can't rank them, basically, is what that usually means.
Yeah, I think. Oh, Siri's talking. Yeah, I think he definitely belongs in F. He's one of the show's like great villains. So yeah,
Yeah, F tier by far.
For
terrible.
me, I couldn't believe that Coach Beard's Night Out wasn't a dream, or Coach Beard After Hours wasn't a
Yeah.
dream, mostly because of where him and his cronies show up, and you're like, this can't be real.
Can't
Like
be
this,
real,
this has to be a dream.
William also brings up that the 2 best PLDs are on stream right now, which is accurate.
Are we ranking Sassy's daughter, or is she in the kids? She's just up next.
I would qualify. I would qualify as kid.
Yeah,
I'll move her away.
Well, for the record, I love Nora. I need some sort of explanation as to why she isn't in the season finale, because there's no way they're playing for the Premier League title and Nora's not in that building. If something's not good, then they don't address it. I mean, Sassy's there. Where the fuck is Nora?
My mother literally the other day at my niece's dance recital turned around. She goes, "Did you know that was Man City's real life coach?" And I said, "Manager." But yes, I did know that. Yeah, he's kind of a big deal. Yeah, I knew that was him. I was like, "Oh, precious, bless her so much." And I was like, "Yeah, I know."
But shout out to Nora. She's the shit.
I just want to know who bugged Ted's office. So Pep said exactly the same thing that Ted said earlier.
Right.
Like, what kind of MI6 bullshit is this? That Pep's
he's
under?
got, he has to have connections for
Pep
sure.
is the Bill Belichick of the soccer world.
Yeah, he is. He really is. Now.
You can tell
But
myself.
like,
Does that make Ted Eric Mangini?
I guess.
Man, genius.
I guess.
he's an
I mean, if this is the metaphor we're going with,
Maybe the Mark Trust. No.
oh, don't.
All right,
All right.
June.
We got
That
a
upon
pretty
trust me.
controversial one up next.
Okay.
A more controversial than Jamie Turner.
The one character, well, possibly there were kind of a few characters, but mainly the one character that started as a face, went to a heel, and returned as a face in the end.
Oh, it's controversial.
I'm gonna say it. He's D tier.
Ooh,
Yeah.
here.
I'm okay with that.
He's not F. I don't think enough was done in the 3rd season for a full-fledged redemption. Because yes, I understand the characters forgiving him, everyone wanting him back. He still leaked the fact that Ted had a panic attack to Trent Grimm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean
And that was never addressed.
And told Ted to go fuck himself and rip the believe sign. I mean, yeah.
Right.
Which was pretty rude. I guess I'm the only one. I was gonna go quite high, but I guess I'm the only one who feels that way. I think
love
it has
his
like a very
character growth.
interesting story arc.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I think what made me finally obviously season 3, you kind of start building the redemption, and I know people want him to talk to Ted more, and I get that, but I also am of the belief that I don't think he ever, like, we as an audience needed him to apologize to Ted. Ted didn't need that apology. Like, Ted had already forgiven him because that's just the type of person that Ted is. But I understand that, like, we needed it, which we kind of got, obviously, in the finale. But I think the real reason I inevitably fully forgave him was that conversation that Ted had with Coach Beard, and then Coach Beard going and confronting him. And, like, that for me kind of solidified the storyline and the redemption arc. And it did make it believable, and it did make it interesting. And I liked him, like, kind of going back and talking to his dad as well, and the relationship that he had with his dad, and him being like, you just always wanted me the best and whatever, and he's like, no, I just want my son to be happy. And yeah, I don't know, and like him and Jade, like, I think she was a big part of like why I kind of helping the softening of Nathan Shelley, so to speak. Yeah, I think his storyline was very good. Like the timid man he is in season 1, then getting to see at the end of season 1 him kind of blossom into someone, and then season 2 that power goes to his head, and he wants more, and he kind of goes on the dark side. But I think I don't know if we can all say that Darth Vader was redeemed at the end of Return of the Jedi for like a 2-minute scene. Then I think the Ted Lasso writers put in enough legwork to redeem.
Where would you put him?
I put him in S. I think he is a genuinely very interesting character. I would go S tier. Everyone else wants to go D, so I know I'm not going to win the S.
I think
he's at least deserving of D.
I think this to balance
He's a more
both.
compelling character.
I agree with a ton of what Bethany said, I thought a little of his heel turn. I thought was a little rushed, but I did like the redemption back. I did think the redemption back.
And then just going on overall, like, because you can be a villain and be an S tier character. You know what I mean? Like, I just think like he is a compelling. Like, you can't argue that. You know, of compelling characters on Ted Lasso, like I think he's up there as far as compelling. Love him or hate him, he is certainly a compelling character.
My problem is I have like 5 in the S. I can't put a move on it.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
I think okay for me, it's during his redemption arc. It seems like when it really fully happens, and I'll settle like B or C. B is.
I'm okay with him being in the B right now.
Yeah.
He's more of a foil to other characters' growth than showing his own.
Agreed. It took other characters' actions to get him the redemption rather than his own actions to be redeemed.
Huh.
Because it was Beard.
Yeah,
it was Beard.
but
it took Beard to go there, and it was. I felt that was more of a Beard moment than a Nate moment. That scene between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, it totally is a Beard moment.
True, but I do think that the moment where Rupert like invites him to a party or whatever, and he's like, "No, I don't want to go to a party. I want to go hang out with."
I don't want to do hookers with you, bro. I want to go hang out with my girlfriend.
I do think like that spoke to the deeper character inside
for sure.
But
let's leave him there for now.
He's still on the road back. He ain't back yet. Yeah, on the road.
I would say again, like looking at the people that we currently have in B, and again, I love Isaac, like I truly do. But like, how much do we know about Isaac, and how much do we know about Nate?
Agreed.
Like, I think Nate definitely deserves to be above someone like Isaac, just because of the amount of time we spent with him, what we learned about him, the development he had. Again, either good or bad, but he definitely had development throughout the show. You know what I mean? As opposed to, as Peggy kind of mentioned earlier, Isaac stays a little bit more one note. I love that one note. Don't get me wrong, but like, we didn't get to learn like a ton about him.
Yeah. I like it.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm cool. Next.
Another big one.
I will not let her go anywhere but S.
To the top.
S. Next.
I will literally leave the show. She's not S tier.
Yeah, she's winning 100% S tier.
And also talk about like great, compelling character growth. Like, I mean, she technically starts the show as sort of a villain, as sort of Ted Foyle.
You think it's Major League in the first episode?
Yeah, and then and then it just like the growth he has just in season 1. You know,
it was a true testament to like a character that is doing everything wrong, and then you just start to be like, you just start to root for her. And then whenever a situation where she needs to, choose the right thing to do happens, she does it. She just consistently starts changing, doing the right thing. And obviously you understand why she did what she did originally, but
to do. Yeah.
Overcomes it and chooses to do like the right thing overall.
Yeah, totally.
Legend. Also, probably my mom's favorite TV character ever.
She's great.
She's wonderful.
So,
and just
shout out to Debbie Lancaster.
Just shout out to Debbie. We love you, Debbie. You know that.
I mean, the only thing I'd known Hannah Waddingham from was being the shame nun in Game of Thrones up until this show. And just to see her comedic chops, her singing chops, I mean, everything. I felt the arc of this character was the most believable, had the fewest holes in it compared to any of the other ones. I was a little iffy on the relationship with another character that's going to come up, but I thought that was handled more deftly than I was expecting.
Right.
No, I think Rebecca is a fantastic character.
Spoiler, you can say Sam.
Well, I mean, I don't want. We're going to be talking about Sam soon. That's more my point. Yeah.
Really? Oh, Sam. Yeah, she's absolutely amazing. And also, Jeff Alterman, if you're watching, her favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future, which I'm still not certain you've ever seen. So, Waddingham. I don't know what Rebecca Welton's favorite movie is. That was never really discussed. I know she's a Nora Ephron fan. That much I know.
Just shuffling. I'm gonna go get a refill.
I'm just gonna quickly.
Yeah, you can grab me
things around.
Did we just lose Justin? Oh no, Justin, you're still there.
No, sorry. I'm just gonna move things around slightly. couple
He's just doing something on the
a
bob.
couple too big.
How
of
do we
ones
feel about
coming
the
up
Flying
soon.
Dutchman? Also,
Love
I
him.
don't love that, but I don't.
I loved
hate
him.
it.
I loved him.
I feel like I don't know him well enough. Like she's like one of my favorite characters on the show, and I wanted her to like have an ending that I was like completely satisfied with, and I was like satisfied.
That's fair.
Wait,
not
I thought
satisfied.
I was thinking of somebody else. I was thinking about a Dutchman who was a pilot.
The Flying Dutchman.
The Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy she ended up with.
Yeah.
Like the guy that she met in Amsterdam, and then he's like, I'm a pilot.
Zag, or whatever the word is. I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, I liked it more in the Amsterdam episode is one of my all-time favorites, and I liked it in the context of that episode. I didn't know if I necessarily needed him to return.
I agree. I like their like what they just had that like special connection. She like realized she could have more kind of in a man, but I like
he was good for that moment, and
he's her lobster.
I was like, the Dutchman, he's back. All right, I don't know how to feel about that, but like I don't hate it. I just didn't love it, and that's fine.
I wanted to say with her too. I think she, of all the characters on the show, of everybody on the show, has the best overall story. I think that
I agree.
Her overall arc with everything that happened to her, even more so than Ted. I actually like in season 3. I felt Ted actually was a little bit less fleshed out. She was the character that was the most consistent through the show. Absolutely had you loved every second she was on screen. There was no wasted moments. Terrific performance. Absolute S tier.
I would say if there's a second lead, she would have been second lead in the show next to Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Like, and Hannah Waddingham, I mean, the next part of her career is going to look like, it could look like Meryl Streep. We don't know.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I'm rooting for her.
So wonderful.
Streep might be a stretch, but
I'm interested to
like
see what
that.
she does next.
Target.
Alrighty.
Love her.
Speaking of what's next, the player who I called John before, Sam.
Lasagna, Norris.
S tier.
I think it's because he reminds me of John Boyega. That's probably why. Because he's got the
maybe.
spiky hair.
S tier.
Yeah, he's got.
Somebody say a bad word about Sam. I'll wait.
Oh, I will.
I don't think anyone would dare.
Not a bad word.
7 overall.
I don't have him at S. I have him A.
I have him 7 overall, which doesn't put him in S.
I think.
Wow.
I think it starts S.
Do we do F for foodie? I'm just kidding.
I love Sam too, and that's what
We need to keep Sam and Rebecca together for a little bit.
Yeah,
and then
I
we'll
like this.
separate them.
And then we'll separate.
We're in there for now. If we have to move him, we do. But he's a wonderful character.
Yeah.
My big issue with how Sam's character was written is that I don't see a ton of growth in him. When something bad happens, he's reactionary and then he turns to someone else for help, which turning for someone else for help, but like I never feel like he fully has grown up.
He's 22, 21.
But we're looking at these characters as full arcs. I get that. I'm just looking at compared to other characters. I'm trying to find reasons why someone is top of the top. He's a sweet character. He's very kind. I love him as a character, and A isn't bad. I would have him as A, but
so if I was a fan of Richmond and I was going to buy a jersey, that's probably the player's jersey who I would buy.
Yeah, that's true. I do love
that.
Also, on a completely related but unrelated note, Mike and I were discussing this the other day. Don't you find it a little bizarre that not a single one of the characters on the team was like married and or had children? Like I know that most of them are younger, but not all of them are. And I was like, in canon, as far as we know, because maybe some background character on the team was married, but none of the main characters on the team that we are aware of have a spouse or have children. And that's like a little unrealistic.
very weird. Yeah, very strange.
Yeah.
But again, it's a weird thing that I was thinking of the other day. Not
Never
really
thought about it.
to anything.
It's funny.
But Sam,
Alrighty. I'm going to go to the restroom real quick, but I will give you the next one, who I believe
we'll have some debate.
goes by 3 words for me, and that's "What's up, Doc?"
Ah.
Dr.
I love her.
Sharon.
Now this is
her.
I would have Doc at S tier because I think she is actually a true foil to Ted Lasso. She is his opposite in a lot of ways, especially during that second season. They're the same in a lot of ways. She's a reflection, but also the opposite. And it takes her to open up a lot of characters and improve them. She is integral to making the team better. And I think, I don't know the actress's name, but I think she does a fantastic job playing the part, being this stubborn therapist who pushes back at Ted's cheeriness, and we ultimately get to see the root of it due to her character.
So I'm going to say right now, just because of what we were talking about earlier with some of the characters in terms of where they stand in terms of the show, I would actually put her between right after Nate in the B series, where I would have her right this minute.
I'd put her in like A. I would say like bottom of A. I don't think she's like better for me than a Higgins, a Danny, and a May, but I think she's like A worthy because I think she did do a lot of. I think the thing is like, which is not fair to her, is recency bias. Like she really didn't have much of an arc in season 3. She was barely in it. I think she had like two appearances. If we had this discussion after season 2, I think she would have gone a lot higher because season 2 is obviously her time to shine. So I know that's like not fair to the character because it's not her fault that she wasn't in season 3 a lot. But I would say, yeah, I'd put her in a solid like bottom of A, I think, because I do agree with a lot of things that Dan said, and I loved all the scenes between her and Ted in season 2. Like, as some of the episodes, or some of the stuff with Ted in season 2 was just so good and like such a great thing that like needs to be talked about,
Gonna get knocked out
but
by people, though.
Yeah, I just think there are a couple of characters that I would have to put above her.
Yeah, I'd put her behind Isaac right now. You all made valid points, and I do love her character, but the whole mind your dog and I hate your sweater when she was on the bike, she's got like bike road rage, and that time and then she was so standoffish. I understand it was probably tactical when she first arrived at the club, that she was standoffish and kind of like short with everybody, but still, it kind of made me hesitant. So that's the only things I can think of to knock her down a little bit. So.
I just thought, not hearing anything you guys had said prior, but I just thought they set up a lot of like good, and they did dive a little into it, but then she kind of disappears in season 3, and they never like really, I feel like, fully fleshed out her character in the end. But was still great in the moments that she was in.
For like sort of leaving Ted when she knows that like that's one of his big hangups. Like she basically writes him a note to say that she's gone, and it's like, why would you do that to someone who can like poured his heart and soul out to you about like how he basically is always left and how his dad committed suicide? And I was like, then you write him a note, like, ooh, that's very,
But that's to my point that she's a flawed character too. She's not this savior here. I mean, you have to show that she's a flawed person too. Otherwise, we're getting into the same hang up that Ted had in season 1, being cheery all the time or being the same. Like, you have to show that she's a person with faults and a therapist with faults, and not this savior coming in to, just fix everything. Like kind of like Ted wasn't
there.
Right.
But
and that Ted was
commentary. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, and that Ted was able to turn the tables on her and leave the bar when they met up as well. I thought was also a nice button to that dynamic.
Yeah, she's definitely in the top.
Listen, if I want to glorify a flawed therapist, I'll go watch Shrinking. Okay.
Okay. Don't get me started. That's another fantastic show.
Yes.
All right. Well, speaking of characters that are saviors and do everything right.
And
wanker.
He's poopy. Boo.
He's poopy.
Yeah, can we call the F tier wanker?
Pope.
Of course.
Yeah, no, put him above Jamie's dad.
Above Jamie's dad.
Yeah.
For sure, but
Interesting at the very least.
I saw a post about the finale that was like someone in the writer's room just really wanted Jamie to say, like holy guacamole in his accent. And they wrote a whole scene about Zava, like giving them a massive avocado just to make that happen. Like they just want to hear that Manchester accent, be like guacamole. Like, and I was like, yeah. And honestly, I respect that writer for doing that.
Rupert's an interesting foil. You know, the character itself is well written, and he makes you hate him, which I like. I appreciate the performance here. I think he is a wonderful foil. But as a character, as a whole in the show, he's 100% in the
Absolutely,
bottom.
the wankerest of the wankerest. Ugh, what a dick.
I think they went a little over the top with the trench coat. I'm like, yeah, we get it. He's evil.
Right?
That was great.
He's supposed to. Yeah, he's supposed to be the emperor. Yeah, definitely.
They're gonna start playing Sephiroth theme
his
for Final
mustache
Fantasy
again.
VII.
Yeah, you might as well give him the Imperial March when he came out of the pitch in the last one.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Give him a katana.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of my favorite scenes with him, and again, also another just great Ted scene, is the when they're playing darts. I thought a great kind of tete-a-tete between the two of them.
Like probably one of my favorite scenes of all television.
Like
The whole series, yeah. I'm
just television in general.
Pulled up that clip on YouTube and watched it a lot because it like makes me cry every time.
I do that to get my feelings out too.
Yeah.
A really nice hero-villain moment there in the bar or in the pub.
All right, Juice, let's roll with the next.
So speaking of Ted, I think
of the teacher.
Oh, it's a teacher.
Roy's the teacher Roy flirts with.
That's DLD tier right there.
Yeah.
Can't rank her. That's
I like
DLD.
that she is on the tier list.
Oh, we're gonna be here forever if we're getting that deep. Okay.
Yeah. All right, yeah, move along.
All right, anyways, actually speaking of Ted.
Okay. Dewey.
The big cheese.
Second to Rebecca.
I have him ranked 6th, which would be A tier.
Whoa, okay. The show is named after him, even if he.
But it's not about him. It's not about him.
It's about the team, but it's also about him. He's S tier, obviously.
Yeah.
It's about. How can you say it's not about him? I mean, everything happens.
How about Sam?
Well, that's
put him right in between Sam and Rebecca.
That's where I have him ranked. Yeah.
There we go.
Beautiful.
That's where I have Ted ranked.
I'm good with that. I have no problem with that. I mean, we could talk for an hour about Ted.
As we just said, if you want a great Ted scene, go watch the dart scene. It's on YouTube. Put in Ted Lasso dart scene. It'll change your life. All right. Next.
Hang on 1 second before we head on. I just want to say for those of you, I don't know if y'all caught it out there. I hope you all did. Pilot episode. Jamie says cheers to Ted, and he responds with night court. Final episode. He's in the Kinky airport. Boots. Yeah, thank you. I'll make sure everyone's
wicked. Kinky boots.
All right, good. Carry on.
All right.
Okay.
My favorite character. I'm just kidding.
Here we go. We found it.
But he's of the three, he's the least.
He's the least memorable of the three.
He's the least memorable of the three. So I think bottom of PLD is.
I remember putting the least memorable people in the PLD. I don't know.
That is.
I think they're all going to be the top of the PLD tier.
Yeah, I'm going to wait until. Excuse me, Paul deserves better than that. I love Paul.
I love the Pub Boys though.
But, he's one of the Pub Boys, and I want him to go. I would say, yeah. I mean, they're PLD quality. I will say that I love the Pub Boys. I mean, I'll save some on Pub because there's 2 more that we have to discuss. But a scene that makes me weirdly emotional is I love that they got a little bit of time to shine in Beard's Night Out. And a scene that makes me weirdly emotional actually is when We Are the Champions is playing and they get to go like play on the pitch, and it's just like. The one thing I was talking to my friend Katie about this, the one thing I think Ted Lasso gets so right is fandom, like what it means to be a fan, what it means to love sports. Because I feel like a lot of times people, it's just grown men, family, whatever. And it's like, no, like you don't understand. I love in season 3 and Ted says, it's their team. We're just borrowing it for a little while. And it's like, yes, that's what you are doing as a coach. Like, it's not your team. That's my team. And I think that Ted Lasso, like, really gets what it means to be a fan and what it means to be a football fan, a sports fan in general. And the Pub Boys are a really great representation of that. And as someone who, has been a lifelong sports fan, seeing them get to, like, live their dream and, like, run on the field and stuff was fantastic. So I just want to throw some love out for that.
Yeah, which is an interesting foil currently to what's going on in Oakland with the Athletics.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's itself.
And
There was a sign today. I think it was today at the game. Someone put up Ted Lasso, and it was the time code for Rebecca's speech.
at the Akufu League meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of like John 3:16, it was Ted Lasso, season 3, episode 12, 43. Whatever. Yeah.
I no longer have my Jose Canseco Athletics baseball card in arm's reach like I did on a certain something that's going to be taking place very soon. I think.
Oh yeah, tomorrow. It drops tomorrow. Yeah,
love it.
Ready to move.
Well, let's bring out another
Trent Krim.
The top right after Rebecca.
So ooh, we're putting Trent in front of Ted.
Yes, I have Trent ahead of Ted.
Oh my god, I love Trent Krim so much. Talk about character growth, man.
I'd put him behind Ted personally, but still S tier nonetheless.
Yeah,
I love Trent.
Yeah, Trent's
I love
great.
Trent, but I like Ted more.
Yeah.
I'm fine with you saying Ted above Trent because they're close to me. For me, they're real close.
Yeah.
They're back
Just
to
that
back.
hair. That hair is fantastic.
Oh,
Peggy, who's still
Hair's
muted.
fantastic.
I don't think she knows it.
He has a great, though he's not as major of a character in the first 2 seasons and becomes more so in the 3rd season. I like his dynamic with the team in season 3, how they kind of tease like, oh, is he going to out Colin? But it's kind of a twist there that he himself was keeping the secret for a good reason.
And then the best mentor.
And then I think my favorite moment is when they're practicing the total football and he gets so fucking excited that, oh, it's going to work, Ted. It's going to work. I know what you've been doing the whole time. It's going to work. Like just his excitement around being there and like seeing this cynical asshole turn into this giddy kid. Again, just by being around Ted Lasso and Richmond is really great.
And his relationship with Roy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I love his relationship with Roy and talking about.
I missed a little bit. Did anyone mention the T-shirts in season 3, the band T-shirts and all that?
Yeah, but those were great. Yes.
And him, the gift we need. I tried to put it on. It was too big. The gift of him swinging the shirt.
Yes, that was so good.
He's the best recurring character of the first season too. Like when he's like gets called on, he's like Trent Krim, and then everyone else is like the Independent.
Well, because you get a glimpse of him too when Rebecca tries to undermine Ted by having him do the profile on Ted, and then they go to the Indian restaurant.
Yeah.
Ted's getting all the spicy food, and he writes, like he's an honest profile on Ted. It's like he's probably going to fail, but I won't be cheering when he does. Like I think, just incredible character, and just showing that even amidst the cynicism, he still can find the truth and the honesty in people.
That was such a good episode for not only Trent but Ted. I think that's the first time as like the audience member, you're already rooting for him as an audience member, but you really get to see that side of him because he is kind of this, bumbling, cracks these jokes guy, and then you're like, oh wow, this is what he's about. And it helps you see that Trent is a decent guy as well. So it's a good episode.
Trent is also one of those very similar to Rebecca. I think he's one of the most fleshed out characters by the end of the series. You understand where he's coming from, not only as a journalist, but as a person. And he's so well written and also so well acted. Like Trent's a damn near perfect
and
character.
He's just like really ethical. Like as a just like a journalist, like as a human being, like he won't stoop to the low, ethics of his paper. Like he's gonna, he's a moralistic good dude.
He's not a tabloid writer. He's a fucking journalist.
He belongs in that.
The Independent.
Yeah, agreed. Ted Krim.
Speaking of someone that will probably not make S.
Oh, that's Shandy.
Shandy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shandy.
Next Tuesday, perfect.
Oh, she's a PLD. Actually,
I think she's a
I think she's a PLD. Yeah.
I mean, she did bring a sheep to shit in the office.
Yeah. She has
Which
to
is
have
a PLD next Tuesday.
No, she's a PLD. That's perfect.
PLD. That's cool.
She tried to undermine banter with Starfucker.
I love the name Starfucker, so for that alone, I think she deserves
Some
PLD.
9 Inch Nails reference, and I love that too.
Alrighty. Well, somebody
Is Peggy
that
alive?
might not make S,
I'm
but
here.
I think will be very high for a lot of people.
Aww,
It's Sassy.
Sassy's gonna be high.
I do love
S tier.
the fact that Sassy is so amazingly savage to Rupert. She at least deserves A.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with Sassy being an A.
I want S tier for her. That's just me.
My
We
issue.
have 4 more S tier characters.
And we only have 4 people there right now.
My only concern being that high is just she's not around. She's very effective in the time she gets, but she's not around a lot. So it's smaller doses. So that's why I'm looking like B is kind of where I was at, just because of amount of screen time.
I like May.
Put
I like
Nathan, Shelley, and B. Then I guess Sassy.
I was like, I like May more than her.
Well, yeah, that's what I was
Like,
gonna
you
say.
love her.
So for the characters right here, the 2 that have the least screen time is these 2.
Yeah,
which,
and that's fair.
let's
I
start
think May
here,
will have
like
more
where.
Keep her an A. I'm gonna get pissed if she drops below A, but this is fine right now.
We'll keep
But
her,
May,
we'll keep her
but
at
Sassy
A.
above May.
I would.
No, May.
May's got to go.
Okay.
I would,
Okay.
I would, but that's fine.
May's my girl.
I think
I love
we
May.
cap S
Sassy's
and
my
A.
girl.
I think we cap both
And I
S and
respect
A
that.
at 7 instead of 5.
Okay, that's fair. We can max A. at
Yeah,
7.
they're not going to be. We're not going to be able to keep it at 5 or 6.
There's definitely
I
4
think
more S/A.
We try to, we shoot for 6, do 7 if needed. Is
That's
my
fair.
opinion.
We make up the rules.
I didn't rank anyone ahead of time, but somebody that embodies everything of PLD, in my opinion, but probably won't be in the PLD list.
Coach
That
Beard
is
is out.
Coach,
number 2 to the top.
You S tier that mother or get out of here. Coach Beard for life. Love this man.
Oh.
Love this man.
He stole a loaf of meth.
Not above Rebecca though.
Yeah, not above.
Yeah, I
Rebecca.
wouldn't put it. Yeah,
I don't
I'd
know.
keep
I
Rebecca.
might.
He's my number 2 favorite character.
I effing love Coach Beard. He's
Beard's
like
great.
God.
I'd put Rebecca first, but
Beard's above Ted for me, definitely.
My most
Yeah.
quoted Ted Lasso line on a regular basis, which makes absolutely no sense out of context, didn't even really make that much sense in context, is horticulture, baby. And I say it probably
That's to be
once
your
a
fantasy
week.
team name this year.
I think it was one of my names of something last year, but I love that man. I love that character. I love adding babies to the end of things.
just to
Horticulture,
be
baby,
to be devil's advocate a little bit, because it's no fun agreeing completely. My big issue with Beard is the relationship with Jane. I don't think that is portrayed. Again, love is love. Who am I to judge a relationship? But that does not. It never felt like a healthy relationship, as Higgins pointed out throughout the whole
100%
show.
agree.
Ted makes a comment.
True, but
Ted
that's
makes
how
a
you.
comment where he says, "Wow, you guys' baggage just lines right up." Doesn't it?
Right.
I think that was more of what it is.
If we were ranking Jane right now,
Oh,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
take
I
that
don't like
sentiment to
Jane.
the
Totally,
full, but-
totally.
But I
mean,
can't
Oh,
hold
so
that
we're gonna blame
Relationship-
the woman?
Well, no. From what we
I'll
know of
tell
those
you.
2 characters, one of them seems to be the problem. But
Beard's pants. Enough said.
Enough said. His hula hooping skills alone deserve S tier.
yeah, I
Peggy Stardust.
I honestly would probably put him at top, but
I'm
Again,
just
it's
fine
everyone-
with Rebecca being above him. I 100% get that. You know, my personal rankings, he's number 2 overall, and Rebecca's number 3. But if you want to go there, that's fine.
Again, I think we talk so highly of Rebecca and her complete arc, whereas Beard is more, he's there for comic relief. He's a strong comic relief, don't get me wrong, but I don't think his arc overall from beginning to end is as strong as
Double a
Rebecca's.
loaf of meth.
Meth,
That was
right.
good bread.
I get.
True, but that happens off screen, so it's-
I guess technically right, since that is an off-screen arc.
Yeah, but like the reveal of that in the end, and then like you just like AJ said, like he then wanted to go back and like rewatch the whole show knowing that intel.
Yeah,
and, like, it's so
Beard is the best
so
character on the
good.
rewatch. When you
It's
go
so
back
good.
knowing about Beard and seeing everything that he does, he's the best character on the rewatch.
Coach Beard.
Legend.
Also, I just feel like a kinship with Coach Beard because at my old job, like I was Coach Beard during the World Cup because I just had to explain to my dumb American friends like the rules of soccer all the time.
Wait, you did meth?
So I also go with that.
So
And so I don't know.
Bethany.
Like, I feel him on a spiritual level. I also just really love Brendan Hunt.
Hey Bethany,
which helps.
do you know where I can get a loaf of meth?
Clip it out. Clip it out.
On that anniversary, Shane.
Again, I think we were talking. Was it when I was last on what the show was? When they said it's very similar to Les Mis. All I hear is the confrontation and like Jean Valjean being like, "All I did was steal some meth," like between him and Javert. Like that's the only thing that started going through my mind at that point.
And yeah, the Piggy Stardust is amazing, and the way that he starts off.
You speak Dutch? Yeah, don't tell Jan.
What's that?
I also just like, I just genuinely love Coach Beard on his own merit, but also just like knowing that Brendan Hunt gave me one of my favorite episodes of Ted Lasso also like puts him up on my, which is not fair. I should judge the character on its own merit, but also
several
just really
of my favorite episodes of Jeopardy.
Oh yeah,
and also
the Jeopardy episodes were amazing.
So good.
Well, so just think about going back to like when you first started watching Ted Lasso, the first season, like when you were initially started watching it. Did anybody have any inclination, like after 2 or 3 episodes, that Beard was going to be like this much of a favorite?
someone get it trending.
But I think you could say, I think the same about Rebecca too, and just like, oh, you're supposed to not like her, and then you love her in the end.
Yeah.
So I'm team Rebecca between the two.
Me too.
Okay.
I love them both. They're all my children.
And you're
Again, we're talking S tier. We're comparing S tier characters.
That's fair.
Comparing S tier characters where most of B tier would be our favorite characters in any other show.
True. That's so true.
I just did the math quick. We're basically at the halfway point.
Okay.
Okay.
So just for like an FYI of like
Speed up a little bit.
where
We're just
people are
never going to have
ranking.
anyone in C tier, is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Inevitably, actually, I have someone coming up that I think
We could theoretically cap every tier at 6, but we don't want to necessarily move people from PLT to Wanker or
Right.
people, but we'll figure it out. All right. Anyways, Colin.
Colin.
So
I say
He's going to be a high B for me.
So
A high B.
I'm going to disagree, and I'm going to throw out my status as a member of the LGBTQ community that you're only considering B because of season 3. I feel like he was extremely poorly written in seasons 1 and 2. And really, we saw development in season 3, and that's even still based on one episode, the Amsterdam episode. I feel like otherwise he is very tertiary. We got a weird grinder joke that ultimately paid off in season 3. Like it made more sense. But he was a big asshole.
Ever since the coffee handing out when Keely was like, "Can you make one social media status that isn't about Welsh independence?" I loved him in that moment.
Well, here's the thing. I think he's perfect to break the barrier of the C category right here because he doesn't know how to drive his Lambo.
He's right
And-
there. The
And
PC.
when he was at the fundraiser, doctors told him not to drink on his medication. He was drinking on his medication. So that thing's. I'm just trying to find ways to ding him to get him to the C tier. So.
You just really want someone in the C tier.
I'm good with him at C
You put
because
Colin.
I would love him. Like I love all these characters. He's good at C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta find ways to ding people on the
And
set.
I feel
Like I
like
said-
I'm looking at this as a ranking, and I think in the rankings he's right.
Can I say one more thing in defense of Colin and why I don't just love him because of the Amsterdam episode? I love him for many other reasons. Again, I've loved him since the coffee Welsh independence comment. I don't know why, that just cracks me up every time. And also, hell's yeah, Wales does deserve independence. But anywho, I also think going back to the character development and whatever he can say and see that's fine. But I just want to say that I think this was a nice touch that he was one of the people that went to the restaurant to get Nate back. I thought that was very important considering he was one of the people that used to pick on him.
Yeah.
So I like that the writers acknowledged that and they had him go as be one of the people. So I think he has really shown growth. And I think some of that, he talked about how, in the Amsterdam episode about how Dr. Sharon, really kind of showed who he was. Also, his mantra, I'm a strong, capable man. I've changed that to I'm a strong, capable woman. I use that all the time in my new job because there have been certain days where I've not felt like a strong and capable woman, and I need to tell myself that. So that I love about him. So yeah, again, maybe it's just because I feel like a weird kinship toward Colin, but I think he honestly did have some really interesting character development that wasn't just in one episode of this show. So we can keep him in D. That's fine. I just wanted to give him some love.
So I'm going to contradict myself a little bit here. I feel like if we have Isaac and B, they're so tied together that if they're not together, so I
were just playing fucking Xbox together.
Right. They're but so I'd either move Isaac down or Colin up next to.
Well, I think we should just move Isaac down there.
Yeah, I think that's
not just
going to be realistic after some of these other characters come up.
Yeah,
to be real, right? To be realistic, yeah.
We can adjust later.
I'm good. I'm good with this. I think that was more my point. I think if we had Isaac, it'd be Colin and Isaac need to be more or less kind of linked because they are very much tied together throughout the whole show.
Can we put Colin above Isaac just as far as character development goes?
Sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Not like it matters. That's semantics at this point. But
they're being side by side.
Yeah, they are very.
Tying the button on Colin getting to kiss his guy on the field. Beautiful moment.
Very nice moment. Yeah, very nice moment.
It is very nice. Yeah.
He got his closure. I like
that. He had some good moments in season 3, which I like that season 3 got the spotlight some characters we didn't get to see as much.
Yeah.
So speaking of nice moments in season 3.
I loved him actually.
Yeah, he's great. Probably.
Oh wait, that's Sam's dad. I thought it was. I thought it was the anti Sam guy. At first glance, I'm looking at like the top of their forehead here. I'm sorry.
No, that's the evil guy.
Yeah. Oh, I don't remember.
Ola, is that his name?
Ola. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw out B for him just because when Sam had the campaign with Dubai Air, he didn't even explain it. He just said, "I'm disappointed you would do this," and then I'm like, just explain to your kid. Don't tell me your disappointment. Maybe he didn't know. So
that's why I put him in D.
Yeah, I put him at C. There. I think I loved his interaction with Ted, talking about the bad sugar and like him being there as a comfort for Sam. But he's just not on the show enough to be any higher than C to me.
That's fair.
Yeah, I feel like it wouldn't be fair to put him above.
Definitely not F. It's not
PLD.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good spot.
Love him, but I just didn't get. I barely know E.
Yeah,
you love him when he's there, but he's an absentee father.
And again, anytime Sam has talked about him, he seems like a great guy. To be fair. Okay, next.
Another character that is very memorable, and I also don't remember their name.
Barbara.
Oh my god, I loved her. I loved her, but she's probably PLD.
That's a PLD, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking PLD.
She was weird about the snow globe, PLD.
Yep.
She was weird.
Can I get a receipt?
That's a PLD trait.
The snow globe thing.
She loves blood, though. She is into violence.
That's it. The snow globe thing isn't a PLD thing. The snow globe thing is a Jeff Alterman thing. Oh, I can only watch a movie once every calendar year. Oh, I can only have a snow globe if I buy it under these circumstances. That is way more of a Jeff
thing. You're totally right. Yeah.
Guys, we need to quit saying PLD.
Yeah.
It summons him.
Who said his name 3 times?
It might have been my fault. All right.
We are pro PLD.
It's what the show tradition to have a PLD tier. We had.
It's true. We do always.
Alrighty. Oh.
Jamie is number 1 in A for me.
Yeah, I agree with A tier.
I like that.
He is the top of A for me.
He's my favorite character in the show, and I expect him to be somewhere in A. So
It works.
I love
Sam
Jamie.
and put Jamie just because I think he had more
They're
character
back to
development.
back for me. I'm okay with that. They're back to back in my rankings.
Yeah. I'm
Jamie
okay with
and
that.
Sam are
I'm
the
actually
two.
okay with that too.
What was that?
Switching Jamie and
With
Sam.
Jamie and Sam. Sorry,
Okay.
Sam, I love you, but I think Jamie. had
No,
more
I
character
agree.
development.
Yeah, he clearly has top
Just
4 in the top 4 of character like arcs.
Jamie season 3
He
is
became less Pepe.
And
Pepe.
then his relationship is everything. So cute. Okay, next. I can't believe we talked about Jamie Tart that little. I'm proud of us. Okay, next.
Yeah,
We'll talk more.
Ted Lasso too. We talked about him. For like
I'm sure we'll talk more about Jamie once we start.
I know we're saying like the important characters. We have like 2 words about.
I'm good with Jan Moss there.
Is that?
It's the
Yeah,
Danish.
Moss.
Oh,
Danish.
yeah. Oh, I love him. He's probably Steve,
German?
but I love him so
PLD,
much.
Probably
Austrian.
correct. That's probably right where he belongs.
Yeah, he belongs right there.
Yeah.
I also love an I Am Salmon episode where Coach Beard is like, "Don't let him know." That's so good. Yeah, that's probably where he belongs. He's great.
Yeah.
I love how like
He's a pretty one-note character. He's fun, but he's a pretty one-note character.
Yeah.
Who we got?
So this character, I believe, if it's correct, I actually know all of his names.
Can you
Oh, he's great. I love
Van
him.
Dam.
Van Damme and Zorro.
So didn't
And
here
Zorro.
right after.
His poor
His
nose.
name is his original name is Zora, right?
Zorro.
Yeah.
Zorro.
Or Zorro. And then he changed his name to
Becomes
Van
Van
Damme,
And then-
and then he goes
And then-
back to Zorro. So my friend
No, he comes-
Austin,
he goes to
or
Zorro.
Zorro, sorry, yeah, Zorro. So my friend Austin, that he's never seen the show, but I had to watch the last episode, and I'm like, I need to watch this episode at some time soon. I'm like, you don't have to watch it. He's like, no, I'd love to watch it. Like, I don't care. I'll just watch the last episode. When he changes his name to Zorro, and he makes like a joke about like how he changed his name from Van Damme to Zorro, and then like whatever interaction with Ted Lasso he has where he's like, oh, Zorro, no, Zorro. My friend bursts out laughing, having absolutely no idea why that line is funny. He's just like, oh, that's hilarious. And I'm like,
There's a whole show of contact that you.
I'm glad that
don't
it's
even
so
get the
good for him. That's
But
fine.
anyway.
Put him above the therapist.
Oh, I put him behind Isaac.
Yeah, right behind Isaac is where I had him too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
fair.
was.
That's fair.
Because again, I think his
Middle
whole
of the
shtick. I think really his whole shtick is his name, and then being the enemy of Danny for a bit.
That's so good though.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that's perfect.
No, we went from C having no one to lots of people. I still think Colin and Isaac deserve B.
They might be.
They might move
I
up.
might
we can move up.
All right.
There's a
Just
lot
there.
that
I mean,
could still
I'm good-
come down.
I'm good
though.
moving the two of them up now if we want.
There's
just so we
still
have a
one that's
nice-
got to go above all of.
I'm totally cool with those two being in B.
Yeah, we can move Colin
Yeah.
and Isaac to be.
We could do that. Sure.
Oh, you're gonna have
There
to
we
move them
go.
down again. Just saying.
All right.
Nah, they're gonna stay there. They're gonna stay there. Feel
I'd be
confident.
surprised if they move down. We're doing 6 and S and A.
Moment of glory. Now, my favorite character on the show.
Boz.
I mean,
Buzz,
he's great.
PLD.
PLD.
Yep.
I think-
Side P and
Top
bottom
of
receiver. I love him.
He's the best.
I don't know. Paul's the best of the three of them.
Paul's
Like
the
he's the
best one, yeah.
second
Thank
best.
you.
Jeremy's
Agreed,
the most
Bethany.
recent. We can go behind Babs for now. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think Snow Globe Comet gets her top of PLD.
yes. And the PLD is infinite.
So true. So
It's
true.
true.
We don't cap PLD. All right, who do we have next?
Montclair.
Rashad.
Oh, Montclair. I don't know. He's French. That's all I pretty much know about him.
He's utterly forgettable.
And he will never eat Dutch food.
Yeah, he's very opposed to Dutch food.
I'm thinking PLD level.
PLD
But does he-
somewhere.
He's hot, but
He's pretty to look at.
But
That
I
is-
think that bottom of C, I think top of PLD is ranked higher than bottom of C.
that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
theoretically.
I'm actually okay with where he is right now.
Yeah.
If there's a season 4, I
Yeah.
hope they develop his character more because you
I
can tell
don't think there's going to be a season 4.
I still do someday.
It's
We don't know
sounding
a
like
lot
there
about
might
him.
be.
We do not know a lot about him.
Or the women's team spinoff. That could happen too.
Oh, we know he has a hairy ass.
True.
All right. Someone that I don't think is going to end up in C.
Becky
Keely.
Jones? Oh, the way.
I know her name. I know her name.
Either bottom S, top A, one of those two.
Yep.
I put her above Jamie.
Top of A? Keely Jones?
I put her above Jamie.
Keely Jones? She deserves to be.
Yep, that's exactly.
I put her in front of Trent.
I agree with Bethany. I'm in.
I'd
French.
go ahead.
And I'm fine with that. I love Keely.
She deserves it. It's what she deserves. Beautiful. Oh my God, look at that S tier. Beautiful.
That works. I'm okay
We're
with
gonna
that.
have to knock Jamie out.
Keely fucking Jones, ladies and
We're
gentlemen.
gonna have to knock Jamie. Like
Or
Jamie's
we're
going
putting
down.
7 people in the S tier. We're making the rules as we go. All right.
shoot
Here's
for
the
6.
next one.
We'll see what happens.
Yep, that works.
Speaking of people that won't be in S tier, but are still is high in our hearts.
Yes.
Yeah, B.
Put him in B. That man deserves B. I love him.
I like him.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Yeah, I like him a lot
Okay,
too.
Paul is me. So like Baz is probably my dad. And like when we're watching football together, my dad is like negative, always thinks we're gonna lose, whatever. And I'm like, we could be down by 40 points. And I'm like, if there's a will, there's a way. This will be the greatest comeback of all time. Like that, like Paul is me with sports, and I love him for that. I love his positive vibes.
He was just so eager to tie his dick to someone else's dick. Like that deserves B tier.
Yeah.
Also that.
As a St. Louis Cardinals fan, like I see a lot of like because they're doing very bad right now, and every Facebook comment from other St. Louis fans is very negative, and I'm like, come on, guys, let's just. If we're positive, then they'll be positive. Like, come on.
You gotta have a little faith, you know.
Let's get behind him a little.
Chicago
I still
teams
want
are right
them.
with you, buddy.
I still want the manager to get fired, but that's okay. I have to go to the bathroom very quickly. Again, I have a very small bladder. I apologize. He probably doesn't have that much to talk about, but that's okay. We'll probably still talk about him more than Ted and Jamie.
Bumpercat! I have things to say about Bumpercat.
All right.
Hey,
We'll come back.
according to Colin, he is the most fit guy on the team.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
we
the
love
fact.
Bumpercat. Bumpercat is doing so much with so little. Like, does he have that much dialogue? No. But like any group scene, he is just taking. I love it when they show
He's
the
the-
hair.
He's the geezer main of the
Right here,
franchise.
just too low.
He has no plot relevance, but he's part of every play.
He's
on
in the right
field.
tier. He just needs
I
to
feel
move
like
it.
you learn a little bit about him from other people throughout the whole show. Like apparently he's opposed to democracy or something.
He's
like
Swiss, yeah. He's
He
Swiss.
just didn't vote. Yeah. Oh yes.
Ooh,
That-
well,
I
that's
forgot he did
bad.
Swiss. No, he's Swiss. He's just neutral.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That
I
makes-
might put him below Zorro Van Dam, but
Oh, I
Yeah.
put him at the top. See, I love him.
I just
but
there's,
I think
there's
second. I vote
I
second.
love him so bad.
Yeah.
But I love Bumpercat. I just
Yeah.
want everyone to know.
No, he needs to move up a little bit, but yeah,
Yeah,
he's behind
I agree because his Christmas gift was something personal. It wasn't just something he went out and bought. He actually made that shit. So yeah,
Right.
he gets
I
a
put
little
him
bit.
behind Zorro.
He's above. He's above Jan at least.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
the conversation is like Zorro, but they're side by side. It's just a matter of which one goes higher.
I put Zorro. I put Zorro first, personally.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
I think we just got a little bit more.
I'd be fine if they, whichever way you flip it between the two.
The only thing that might drop Zorro is his weird fascination with wanting to go to a sex show that everyone kept telling him was not worth it.
Ah, 8 other people voted
Not
with
worth
him.
it.
Not worth it.
They're tired.
So here,
Yes, they're very tired.
this is the general consensus.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. I mean, either way, it's fine. We'll still, I'm sure we'll still finesse as we go.
Finesse and finagle.
Alrighty.
We've gotten through most of the.
Wow!
Fuck. He's
Top
gotta
B.
go up.
A tier. I put him ahead of Sassy.
Somewhere in B. No, somewhere in B is
What
fine
did
by
you just
me.
bring up?
Will.
Will Kitman! I love Will Kitman! Put him in A.
I put him ahead of Sassy.
He's
Him impersonating Beard is one of the
Ahead
funniest
of
things.
Yes.
He's not Ray, but he's ahead of Sassy.
I disagree, but fine.
Him casually telling his mother he got invited into a three-way,
Yeah.
also great. Him being
Sassy scaling a wall to put a smile on her best friend's face the day of her father's funeral. Trumps
His-
that.
his reaction when he missed a good cry in the boot room, classic.
Oh yes.
Sassy telling
I
off
love
your
that
You missed a good one, Will.
Like,
Him and Sassy being next to each other seems right.
it's pretty legit.
Yeah.
I think
Will
that him and Sassy
Hitman.
work together.
Oh, one of them has to drop though because we have a super
Not Sassy.
high person coming soon.
Not Sassy. Not
Okay,
Sassy.
let's get rid of caps.
Yeah, who says we have to cap this?
No
It's
cap.
Ted Lasso,
That's
baby.
fine.
There's
Is that
so
what
many
the
good
kids
No,
say?
characters.
I get
Is that what
what
the
you're saying.
kids say? No cap?
We're
No
not
cap.
gonna like
No
go
cap.
too crazy. It's not gonna put everyone in S tier, but like let us
No,
live a
we've
little.
we've done this pretty evenly actually. This
Yeah.
is pretty nice.
Uniform right
All right, we'll see.
We'll see
Who's
how it
next?
goes.
Because this person definitely won't be an S tier.
Number one.
Roy
Numero
Kent.
uno.
That is number
Numero
Austin.
uno.
one.
The most self-aware
Anyone-
character.
Disagreeing, I'm going to get on a
The
plane
only-
and fight you.
The only soccer player he likes. So.
Roy fucking Kent, number one, no questions asked.
The best and most diverse F-bomb thrower on the face of the planet.
Whistle. So good.
It's
Best
whistle.
character.
Okay, for a whistle.
15 years.
Okay. I was gonna try to say behind Beard, but because of a whistle, you got me.
Come on, the whistle.
I have a sensitivity to pure metals.
It's so
All right,
good.
there's not a ton left. We actually went through the second half pretty quick. So
Hey.
I think we cap at 7,
Yeah, that's fine.
and
That's
this
the
is
S tier, yeah.
everything
I'm
is
happy
capped
with that
at
S
7.
tier. That's a solid S tier.
It is a
Executive
solid S
decision.
tier.
I just have to make some comments on Roy Kent. He has some of the best one-liners. Like when Jamie's like, "I want to build bridges," and he's like, "You couldn't fucking build Jeff Bridges." Or when he's talking about Ted's talking with him about a love triangle, and then talking about, but the most dangerous one is a love dodecahedron, and he's like, do I look like I have time for shape-based humor? Like, just stuff like that is just so incredible.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was funny in the Step Brothers.
That's high
Our
praise
favorite
there.
one is probably from season 2 when he's still a pundit and they bring up Jamie Tartt and he's like, he's a twat and I hope he dies. He dies in an incurable condition of being a little bitch. It's my favorite line. Dies in incurable condition of being a little bitch.
But then Roy and Jamie in season 3
Oh,
is
my heart, I love
so
it.
fucking
I
pure.
love
It's great
it.
that they bookend. I think it's great they bookend the S tier.
Yes.
You
Aw.
all know that my arse isn't hairy, and you said nothing.
Roy Kent is the best character that has been in
my
the
God, it's so good.
2020s.
Brett Goldstein's like line delivery on so many.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's amazing. I love
The-
him so much.
I think my favorite fuck drop from him though is what in I think it's season 2 when he's like Keely's mad at him for like being around all the time, and then they're at training, and James like, no, in this situation I need to support him, let him know I'm there, but still give him space, and then he has this realization. Fuck, and just storms off, like just runs off. So good.
That was a good
Okay, so
impression.
I know the Deeks haven't seen, but are either of our guest hosts at all familiar with Dragon Ball Z?
Loosely.
Vegeta. He's
Yes.
fucking
Yeah.
Vegeta.
Yes. Yeah, I can see that.
Yes.
Whoosh, no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
But more humor.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z abridged Vegeta.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, Roy Kent number 1 all day, every day. He's here, he's there, he's every fucking where.
Roy Kent. Roy
Specifically
Kent.
as Peter.
Yeah,
I
when
still
he's
argue
doing when
Rebecca,
he's
but I can't. That's fine.
When he's
we need to amend it. He's there. He's here. He's in S tier. Roy Kent.
Yeah, when he's doing like when he briefly is like a network announcer. Oh man, so good.
When he hugs Jamie after his father berates him at the Man City game, incredible moment.
Yep. That's my favorite moment of the entire series.
His line delivery when they first get the bikes and he does it all in one breath.
Oh my god.
About his grandfather.
The two of them with the bikes. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Everything in the episode of them was just absolute gold.
Yeah.
We
could talk for an hour about Roy Kent. Deservedly so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just really love Roy Kent, everyone.
And a character I've looked at their forehead 7 times and still not exactly sure who I'm about to pull up.
Jane.
Jane.
Oh, that's Jane.
Jane. F tier.
Yeah, top of that.
Wanker.
F tier.
Top of that.
Top of Wanker. Well, even above.
No.
I don't think you
Right
put her
there.
above Rupert.
Rupert's an effective villain. She's not a good wife. Sorry, not that I know their dynamic or their relationship, but nothing about that character felt even like to hate her. I just didn't like her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, put her there.
It was fun to like Rupert and see him fail.
So like this is where I sound dumb into your rankings, but like obviously in every other one it's like they're the best. But yeah, so then in Wanker tier, is the very last person the worst, or is the very first person the worst?
That's
The last person.
This is basically a ranking. Just
okay.
Then Jane is not.
Well, I see.
Wouldn't Jane be above Rupert then because she's not as bad as him?
Right. I see the top of.
Oh.
I kind of see it as the opposite. Like the top of Wanker is the most like wanker.
Wankerish.
He is the wanker.
I was going to say I always saw it as the end being the worst.
Well, Tart's dad, I think,
is
probably
actually worse. Knowing something, yeah. Well, but also
I think this like what we have right here is exactly how it should be.
All right, that's fair.
I actually kind of agree with that.
That's fair
because he's the best. He's the best villain,
right?
He's the best villain.
But he's like the worst. Yeah. He's the most
exactly
like absolute shit, dude. Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, that's
she's just kind of
that way. Yeah,
she's somewhere in the middle.
All right.
Alrighty. It's not.
Okay.
So good.
All right.
Encouragement, everyone.
1 second. Sorry.
I like it. The suspense is exciting.
What else about Roy Kent can we talk about?
Just how great he is.
Brett Goldstein.
You're muted. You're muted, Peggy. You're muted, Peggy.
You're unmuted, but you
wouldn't be a show with me on it if I didn't mute myself. I was saying the speech from Roy after the game where Isaac ran into the stands.
Yep.
That was also
top tier moment.
Very good.
Yeah.
When he finally went up to at the press conferences too. When he finally
the press conference.
Yeah.
New Trent. I like you. I like you better than old Trent already.
Yeah. That was a good one.
That press conference is like, oh, okay. So I thought that Nate was going to be the club manager after the end of the season. No, it's going to be Roy.
That was good. Yeah, that was great. Great.
He became the leader.
Yeah.
Beard press conference is the best one.
Yes, that is so good.
Everyone, while he's trying to figure out who we go next, who do you think is the best classic rock guitarist of all time?
Ooh.
Classic rock guitarist of all time.
That's what the question was. The beard.
Jimmy Page.
Yeah, it's Jimmy Page.
I don't know.
Probably gotta go Hendrix.
My knowledge.
Okay, Hendrix is good.
Hendrix is good. I cannot give an educated answer to this.
Probably Jimi Hendrix. Yeah.
Hendrix is good, but Jimmy Page to me.
Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy, I think is
Jimmy. Any Jimmy.
All Jimmys are really great at playing guitar.
Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy's Eric's.
Neutron.
I mean, yeah, Eric Clapton.
Brain blast.
That's a real good choice. Yeah.
I don't know.
All my favorite guitarists are 90s.
Plus.
Joe Perry's a good choice too.
Who's your favorite guitarist? Juice.
Yngwie Malmsteen.
Oh yeah. So you're talking like playing 8,000 notes a minute. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's some crazy talk right there.
Tom Morello, my all-time favorite.
Brian May's great.
All eras.
I mean, my favorite of all time is Dimebag Darrell, but that's a different story.
My brother was there when he died.
He was at that show.
George Harrison's guitar does gently
Holy
weep.
shit!
Yeah.
Well, that just got sad real quick. Juice, you gotta have a character.
Yeah. Anyways, somebody that's definitely never sad. Zava.
Zava sucks.
That is the F tier.
No, that is
Wanker.
PLD.
Wanker
Is he-
too.
That's PLD as fuck.
I got him as Wanker just below Rupert.
No,
I kind of think he's PLD.
I think he's PLD. I think he's
That's fun.
PLD.
That's fun.
Like
I'm okay with that.
maybe there.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Topical was pretty funny.
That's pretty funny.
He's comical enough to
I
where
think
like
Shandy might have to move down to Wanker.
she might.
But, yeah.
What's the name of the guy that they bring in back in Major League 2? It's the same character.
Oh, fucking Parkman.
Yes, South
Jack
Righteous
Parkman.
bitch.
All right.
That's comparison.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, hey, that's.
Jade.
Nate's
Huh?
girlfriend.
I like Jade.
I love Jade.
Like a lot.
I love that she is so unimpressed by him.
I think you leave it right there.
She has some great character growth. I put her.
She doesn't say much.
I keep her in C, but I'd move her up a little bit.
I
I'd
put her
maybe put her in the
above.
bottom of B.
I was gonna say the same thing. I think she's above Zoro.
Yeah, I think so. I think we got more character development out of her than we did out of anyone else here.
I
in
wouldn't put her
season.
above. I wouldn't put her above Bumbercatch, but I'd say above Sam Stat.
Yeah.
I liked ultimately how she's the one that really pushes Nate to get back into, or like
Reconcile.
to reconcile, to do a little bit more of the right thing. And I love being like a restaurant worker. You can easily just adapt yourself into the restaurant lifestyle and just be like, hey, you can actually make pretty good money doing this. I'm just going to do this for the rest of my life. And not that
She's
Nate was necessarily in that position, but like for her to be like to get him fired so that he would have to go back to the soccer team. I think that was
like her
actually
for
really
B.
cool.
I really like her for B.
I just think from what we met of her in season 2 to what she became, like that's like in season 2, if you would have told me like, like she would actually be like a real fleshed out character in season 3, I would have never believed that. I didn't think we'd ever see her again. And then when she like came back and then she like sat down with him after he had that terrible date with like the model-y type person. And yeah, like I really think I love that like
That model belongs in Wanker tier.
And that's why I think she's in C, because she could have been in one of the bottom two if we were just looking at the first 2 seasons. And that, so I don't know if there was enough done. Yeah, and that's why I said in C. Like the growth propels her to C here, rather than B feels very high for Jade.
I mean, I'm okay with putting her right behind Bumbercatch, but
I feel like we know more.
I like her
about
more.
than
I like her more
Bumbercatch.
than that.
Although
Honestly.
I love Bumbercatch.
Right.
I just would like to make that very clear. I do love him.
She's in the Bumbercatch Zoro conversation.
But I think she also just like reminds me on Juice's note of the service industry. Like she is like every kind of service. If you've worked in the service industry for many years, like you've known a Jade, like that employee who's like doesn't give a shit. She's like, I don't think about work after I leave it. Like that conversation that she had.
Dr. Kelso out of the office and
every time Nate. You get to people because like you get to the point where you're not. Nate is so like I'm trying to like impress everyone and be like an over pleaser, and she just has to run out of the room every time he starts doing it. Like I see that as like she's just cringing in the corner, and I'm like I've done that so many times.
Yeah, I don't know. I really grew to quite like Jade. I think she was a good, like, calming presence for Nate. I like their relationship. I ended up liking them together a lot more.
Regrowth.
I'm good somewhere around the Zorro Bumbercatch area.
Yeah, I mean, I think the three of them are in the same conversation.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
We could do. Well, let's just separate them.
Yeah, okay. I'm
Gotta
okay
keep
with
them separated.
Gotta keep them separated.
Ding,
All right, who you got next first, Juice?
Ooh,
this is PLD tier. I don't think she's in what 2 episodes briefly.
Bottom
I don't see
PLD.
a face.
Oh, Steph the Chef. I like her. I wanted her and Sam to end up together.
Very well could.
Yeah, PLD.
We don't know.
It's not-
know
You don't know enough
her.
about her.
True.
Bottom of PLD.
I'd put her.
I mean, we can maybe put like.
That's on up on.
We can maybe put her.
Time. Can we put her above the teacher?
I think we. Yeah, I think we should move.
Yeah.
Her to Wanker.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Wait, I would put Jeremy in front of the teacher though too. We put the teacher at the end of PLD. Like I barely know.
Yeah, it's
Teacher
fine.
gotta
with me.
go up
Yeah,
now.
that's fine with me. Yeah, I'm good with that.
I think there's only 2 characters left.
Cool.
Nice.
All right, hit us.
Wanker.
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 Oh.
Wanker.
Fuck yes, that wanker.
Put her in Wanker.
Where in Wanker?
Right.
Where in Wanker?
Behind Rupert.
Yeah.
Right behind
believe
Rupert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. I never wanted
You
to
had the
believe in
character.
Rupert. I wanted to believe in Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top wanker.
I think that's fair.
And she disappointed me.
Yep.
I agree. All right, our last character already, as if we haven't been going for
An hour and a half.
Wanker.
Someone that will probably also Jack
Bottom.
Wanker.
Oh, we gotta take someone out of S tier to even it up now. Damn.
I think
That's the worst character on the show. That's the absolute bottom.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Sam Richardson does a great job as him, but
Yeah.
he's the worst.
So if we we move Jamie down
I think
or move someone out,
if we're
we
moving
could have
someone out of S tier, my
a
vote,
perfect even.
honestly, it's probably Trent.
No.
Why?
Out of those on the top, if I had to move one
I'm
down, I
okay
would
with
move
leaving
Trent.
it as is.
It's-
I mean,
it
if you
doesn't
want
have
If
to
there's
be
any
even.
show where
gotta
S
make
tier's
it
up to
even.
the most,
We don't need to make it
no,
even.
I like it how
Why
it is.
not?
It's
That's the only thing that's off.
I'd add more people to S tier.
I'd be careful because I would say move Sassy down to B, not Will.
I'd move
I
Will down
would
to
put
B.
can we move Nate up to A? I still think he deserves A.
I do
I think he
not.
deserves
I will
A.
not.
He did not
I-
clean the mirrors after he spit at them. That negates
Oh, this
any
thing was so gross.
A level.
I really did hate this fitting.
I like this how it is.
I think we should move Nate up.
I'm-
We
I
can
don't
put
like
Nate
this
at the very
unevenness
bottom
at
of
all.
A, but
We
I think
could
he
put-
should move up.
we could put Nate to A, move Sassy and Will to top of B, and move Jamie down to A, and then it would.
I think
even out
he will
perfectly.
Hitman in A. Sassy, I'm okay with B. Just because I just didn't get enough screen time with her, but I think she's great.
Right.
I vote as is.
I like.
I'm good as
I
is.
think
I'm
it's
good as
actually
is.
Perfect.
Can we just put
I would-
we
The
just-
show
You better
talks.
put a screenshot on Twitter and then watch people lose their minds that you
Hey,
didn't make it even.
We have to
Yes.
go back to the conversation the Diamond Dogs had about perfection. Nothing that's perfect is interesting. So if our list is imperfect in its shape, it's more,
Yes.
more
Shawshank
interesting.
Redemption, Back to
Yeah,
the
I know
Future,
that.
Jaws. They're worse of art than
There's art. This isn't art. This is
This is a tier list. This is our special tier list.
yes.
whatever.
Nice.
We
We
did
did
it,
it.
guys.
We
We did it.
We
It didn't
believed.
last 2
We
hours.
believe.
Oh, we believed.
Believe.
And we did it. And it
Believe.
was beautiful.
Roy Kent.
Roy Kent, baby. He's here, he's there, he's every fucking where.
He's there.
That's
He's
what
here.
it.
He's in the S tier.
And so
I feel like
if
you need a Piggy Stardust pop now.
they make one. They finally just made a Roy Kent one. And you
It's
best
not
believe
coming
I
out till
will be buying it.
January.
Yeah, you can pre-order it though, so I'm going to. That's what I do.
Well, I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
It's 2 minutes for roping. I like that. You're a jabroni.